Welcome back to the channel. We're Dan and Stephen, a married couple trying to navigate a full-time life in our little 1996 VW campervan. In between jobs we travel the UK and beyond, and in this video we conclude our tour of the Cairngorms National Park by visiting some waterfalls and climbing another one of Scotland's Munros, which proved far more challenging than we ever could have imagined. So sit back, relax and come along dear. So we've just been to Ruthven Barracks, and about a 10-minute drive from there we've just found a park up for the evening, and oh my god, it is so beautiful, it's just incredible. I just can't wait to get out and explore. I might do a little bit of that tonight, but I think we're going to do it tomorrow. Hopefully the weather's like this because it's been so lovely, and we've got this beautiful river which I think is the River Calder, I don't know how you say it. Oh, beautiful. Right, we're going to explore tomorrow, but I might do a little bit this evening. Let's go and get set up. You alright, Steve?
Yes, dear.
So what are we going to do tomorrow?
We're going up another mountain.
We're going up another mountain, and what are they called?
The Munros.
Munros. Something like that. We're climbing another Munro, but it's called Achillic. I think it's called Achillic. But it's about 930 metres tall, which is 300 metres shorter than when we climbed Cairngorm. So I think it'll be alright. I think we'll be okay. I think there and back we'll be fine. There and back is probably about 3.5 hours. You can actually climb through 2 or 3 other Munros in the same route, and that's looking at sort of like a 7, 8, 9 hour trek, which we're not really looking for tomorrow, are we?
When am I ever going to be looking for a 7 or 8 hour trek, Dan?
I'm not sure the weather's going to be as nice as today, but we'll see. So tomorrow, another Munro. So we are seconds into our walk. I've already gone the wrong way. Ow! We're rerouting ourselves so we get back on track before we've even started. And we're off again. Where are we off to, Stephen?
We're going up the mountain.
We're going up the mountain. We're going to climb another Munro, and this one is called Achillic. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Achillic. It's still classed as a Munro because it's over 900 metres tall. No, wait, because it's over 3,000 feet tall. Oh, hang on, have I got this right? I forget now. Anyway, it's a Munro. That's good. And the place we're parked in, just by sheer accident, I just discovered there was a few Munros nearby, and it's a popular spot. So not only is it a beautiful place to park and do some walks, it's easy access to some of the Munros around here. So we're going to do that, and so here we go. Hopefully the weather holds. It's supposed to be a bit sunnier later, but it's looking a bit iffy, so wish us luck. And so far at stage 1 the tracks are pretty good. So even though this one's shorter, however, I think there are times when the track actually does disappear and it becomes difficult, so that'll be interesting. Word to the wise, just because a mountain's shorter by about 300 metres than one you've already climbed up. Doesn't mean it's going to be easier because this already, I think we're about half an hour in and we've lost the path. It's all boggy and marshy, and I did read that that was the case, but you never quite expect it to be so bad until you're actually there and you see it. So I can't even imagine what this is like after there's been weeks of torrential rain, because even now it's quite wet and boggy. But it's fine, we're going to do it, aren't we, Stephen?
Yeah.
It's fine, it's very boggy, that we've lost the path already, but there is a faint path, so we haven't quite lost it. It's just much more difficult to follow than what we've been used to lately. I think we've been spoiled on some of our walks by really well laid out and maintained paths, and now we're in true hiking territory where the paths kind of just randomly disappear. I don't know if you can see up there in the distance is, oh no, there it is. There's a little, you can't see because it's focusing on my finger, but there is a hut with an orangey roof, and that's a marker, and it provides shelter if needed along the route. So somehow we've got to head to that. I think we're still in the right direction, but I know we've got to turn left soon. We've just got to see an opportunity. So that's our destination. Can't actually, somewhere up there. Oh wait, our destination is somewhere up there, but we have to cross over the river. I don't know, we'll figure it out. So we've got to cross this marshy bit. I'm going to go round. Oh wait, it's still marshy. Oh no! Ah, my feet are wet! Okay. I feel like we're supposed to cross here because it leads up and there's a path. What do you think? I know we crossed this river at some point. This looks a bit, I don't know, it looks doable because it's quite shallow and obviously they're stepping stones. And clearly there's a path that leads to this and then goes over the other side, and we need to head up that hill to that hut. So I think we can probably do it. We should be alright. Okay, go, go, go. Oh my god. I think it's actually fine. That one's a bit slippy that I'm standing on. Yay, you did it! So this is the river. I don't know if we've actually crossed at the right point, but we have crossed it, and there's a path. I think we're in the right direction. My feet are absolutely soaked from walking through the marsh. I'm just taking a moment to enjoy the splendour of the river, the flowing water, the peace, the tranquility, before whatever hell awaits us right round the corner. But it's still lovely. It makes these moments worth it. Alright, let's get moving. One thing I love about being around here is all the pink and purple heathers. They're so beautiful. I don't know if we've missed the peak or if this is the peak, because they seem like they're sort of just fading out a little bit. It's mid-September now, but they look absolutely stunning, and it brings a bit of colour to the walk. Everywhere you go, they're just behind you. You can't even see it properly. You kind of have to be here, but they are so beautiful. We're on a steady upwards incline now. It's not too bad. It's a little bit steep, a bit uneven underfoot, but it's not too bad. You can still see the path, which is good, and it's not as wet as it was back there. But we're just coming up to the Bothy, which I'm quite excited about because I think we've been in one maybe. I think maybe on the Outer Hebrides there was one we saw. I don't recall coming across one before on the mainland, and they're dotted about everywhere. And basically they're basically little shelters I guess they can be made of different things. This one looks like it's made of tin or something, maybe stone as well, I'm not sure. And they provide shelter for anybody who needs it. They're just kind of abandoned buildings left for you to take shelter in when you're on your mountain walks and things like that. I think they've had other greater uses over the time, but nowadays there's something for walkers and hikers, people mountaineering, to take shelter. And I suppose as well, they're kind of like little signposts. They mark your way as well. So one's just coming up, just up there, and they're very cute looking bothy, and we're going to go and have a look and take a rest.
Bothys are fascinating buildings, and every one is different. These huts provide shelter to the weary traveller, and you can even sleep in them for a night so long as certain rules are obeyed. They are scattered across the UK, but most notably in northern England and Scotland. The Mountain Bothy Association is a charity that helps to maintain the upkeep of these traditional huts, many of which were originally farming accommodation, some more than a century old. There are over 100 scattered across the country, and finding one can provide genuine relief, but also a sense of excitement, like a treasure hunt, and many people make it their mission to visit as many as possible.
Yay, we made it! Here's the Bothy. This is like the one we found on the Outer Hebrides. Similar sort of thing, I reckon. Let's go in. Oh wow. Oh, look at that. It's a little desk. And there is, it's called the Red Bothy. Acrylic. So I guess there's like a signing in book to say when you got here, but it's 2020. Are we up to date? Let's go to the near the back. See, that's up to 2021.
One on the wall, 77.
21. Yeah, I think the book's kind of lost its order of dates, but we'll write something in there. That's quite fun. Oh my god.
There's a 1953 over there.
Look at that. 1953, Jesus. So everybody, well, lots of people have clearly etched their names and signatures, etc. to say when they visited. 8th of the 8th, 78. Oh my god. 1927? No, 1929, sorry. I mean, assuming these are real, I'm guessing a lot of them are. 44, Wilson. Wow. Every decade imaginable is written on these walls. And there's little knickknacks dotted around. What's in there? Matches. And there's a bench. We can sit down and have a drink. So yeah, Bothys are dotted around all over the Scottish mountainsides. I don't know if they're just specific to Scotland or not. And as I said, walking up, they're a place. They provide shelter for people. It's a free place to shelter from the wind, the storms, or just to take a break. People do in fact sleep in them if you bring a sleeping bag. We found one on the Outer Hebrides and we didn't really know what it was, but now looking at it, I'm guessing this is what it was. It was a Bothy because it had a similar layout and similar knickknacks dotted around. That's so cute. It looks really sturdy as well.
Yeah.
If you're up here in a winter storm, you can imagine how much you'd appreciate taking shelter, especially on a steep mountainside. I don't know, I feel like I'm not bothered about the summit now. I just feel quite excited.
I feel ready to move in.
Yeah, I feel like we found...
This is luxury.
This is the achievement. Yeah, it's luxury. After living in our little van, this is massive. This is like a mansion. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? I really enjoyed that. It feels like a bit of entertainment on the way almost, and you've got a way marker. You've got something to aim for instead of like you've just got to get to the top. So it's quite nice to find this this cute little hut, a Bothy, and just take some time to rest.
Now you're going to make me move.
And now we're going to move. We're going to the top. We're going to the top of Achillic, or whatever it's called.
With our Bothy visit done, we continued our upward ascent, but this mountain was deceivingly more challenging than we anticipated, and things didn't quite go to plan.
I don't know how far we are from the top, but it's one of those deceiving things where it looks like the top, and it's probably nowhere near the top. And we're about to find out. So we've reached a bit of a crossroads, unfortunately. We've got about 3/4 of the way up, and it is hard, it is steep. The paths aren't always easy, and it is a straight route up. I wasn't 100% sure how it was done, and no matter what you look at online, it doesn't always show you exactly how it's going to be.
I've had enough. I'm going back.
There you go,
I'm
Ian.
going to go back and have a cup of tea.
Okay, well you can
Sit
get the
there.
kettle on for me, can't you?
And I might have to have a sleep after this.
It's not easy, this isn't a race, it isn't a pressure thing when I'm doing these videos. We're like, oh look, we're the best when you get to the top of the mountain. Actually, in a way, it's good to show that it's difficult and that it's not for everybody, and that sometimes things, sometimes the paths are really hard.
And it's alright to say you've had enough. That's it, I've had enough. Go back, it's not fun anymore.
Exactly. Well done, getting this far. That sounds patronising.
Yeah, it does.
Well, what do you want me to say? It's good
That's
that you got
anything,
this
I'll
far.
see you back at the van.
Alright.
Don't get lost.
I can't get lost. There's a straight path up. See you later. Go on, leave me. Abandon me. I'm on my own. I'm on my own. It's fine, it's fine. It was really hard. And I understand that. So, as I've said a couple of times, just because it ain't the highest mountain doesn't mean it's the easiest. We came up, we found that Bothy, and that was nice. And to be honest, I felt like that was a satisfying walk in itself. But, ever the completionist, I'm going to press on. Okay, we've got one final stretch. Let's go. I think that's the top. It better be. I'm sure it's the top. We made it! Just about. We got to the cairn. We got to the top of Achillic, or whatever it's called. We did it. And it was not easy at all. We actually made it. I wish Steve was with me, but he's with me in heart. I kind of did it for both of us. And hopefully he's got the kettle on and my nose is running. But it's just proof. Even though it's shorter than some mountains, it's a lot harder. And I look a state. So now we're going to head back down. And I don't know how long that's going to take. Head back to the van. Put our feet up for 5 minutes, I guess. So that is our view this evening. Can't knock that, can you? So, update, obviously, I made it back from the mountain, Achillic. I made it back. It was a bit of a rush at the top, and I didn't really film anything on the way back because my battery had died. So even on the way up, my battery was dying, and it was a mad rush to get to the top. It was difficult. And it was constantly uphill. It just got, there was suddenly lots of peat bogs, which were fine, but as you're going uphill, you just had to navigate them. But yeah, it wasn't easy basically. So even though we climbed one that was 300 meters taller a few days ago, This one was significantly harder, so it's worth bearing in mind, and definitely worth checking the routes out as best you can before you attempt something. Don't just think just because a mountain is shorter than one of the taller ones it's going to be easier, because that's not how it works. Where are we off to, Stevie?
Bruar Falls.
Bruar Falls. And what are we going to go and see?
Waterfall.
Yeah. Very authentic Scottish accent there. It's our last day in the Cairngorms. We're going home. I'm quite upset because it feels like we've barely scraped the surface, but that's good because it means we can come back for future visits. We're going to do a little waterfall walk, so nothing too strenuous. We're just down the road, so we just stayed in a place called Killycranky. That was a really good park up actually. There's a lovely visitor centre there and toilets, a little cafe, and you can stay overnight for a small fee. So yeah, we're off down the road to Bruar Falls actually, so it's a short walk. It's about 1.5 miles. I think it's a bit steep in places, but it's meant to be worth a look. So that'll be our last little visit, our last little expedition if you like, before we start heading south. Right, we're at the waterfalls. Where are we going, Steve?
Bruar Falls.
Bruar Falls. And we're going to go and climb a waterfall. Well, we're not actually going to climb a waterfall, but we're going to walk around a waterfall. It's a waterfall trail. It's meant to be short, but a little bit challenging. There's some shops here as well. So it's called the House of Brewer, and it's like a really sort of fancy department store by all accounts. I'm not really interested in that, but there is a food department, which I am interested in. So I'm going to have a look around. I'm sure it's quite expensive, but even if we just, you know, just to have a look and maybe pick up one thing or something would be nice. So they do lots of like smoked fish and pâtés and things like that. So that'll be fun. So we just bumped into a man, and he was walking his dog, and we did think it's quite difficult to get a viewpoint of the waterfalls up here, so it might just be the way it's laid out or not, I don't know. But what he said was because it's been such a dry summer, the waterfalls have hardly got any water on, and they're still lovely to look at when you can see them. But he said, as a local, he said, you know, it's normally roaring, the water's normally just pouring down, cascading through the gorge. And at the moment, it's more of it's a trickle. It's not a trickle, but relative to what it normally does. I wouldn't say it's disappointing. It's still a lovely walk. We've been quite spoilt by waterfalls over time. But it certainly explains why it might not be as dazzling right now as some of the other things we've seen because of the lack of water. So, but still a lovely walk. A bit strenuous going uphill, but it is short, and then you just come back down again. So quite straightforward. Hopefully Scotland's in a good enough place to repair itself. They do get a lot of water up here, a lot more rain. It has rained pretty much all the time since we've been here, apart from odd nice days. So unlike England, they've probably got an easier task to replenish what's been lost. But I don't know, it's scary times really. You can tell where it's obviously lowered, and we've seen it everywhere, but clearly most of these rocks would usually be covered with water, depending on the time of year I guess, and at the moment it's hardly anything going through. So yeah, not as spectacular as it could have been, but still really pretty. I mean, the bridge is probably my favourite thing out of all this, if I'm honest, because that bridge, it's lovely. It's like something out of like a troll fairy tale or something. But now that's it. Yeah. That's the end of our Scottish adventure this time. And
now we're going to go and see my ma.
We're going to go see your mum, and we've had a brilliant time in the Cairngorms. It has been lovely. We've barely even scraped the surface, but the time we've been here, it has been worth it, and we've seen a lot. So yeah, on that note, we're going to make our way down south of Scotland to see Stephen's mum, and that'll be it. Until the next time, until the next adventure.
Yep. Come along, dear.
Yeah.
Bye.
And with our Cairngorms tour complete, we made our way south. Thank you for joining us on our campervan adventures as we travel around and try to sustain a life in our little home. We really appreciate you following along. If you enjoyed the video, drop us a like, and if you want to see more, subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell for regular updates. Join us next time where we take our van on a brand new adventure far from home. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.